What is going on, Nitro Gang? Happy Friday Nitro to you. Excuse me here, I'm just getting set up. Kind of rushed home quick today in order to put this Nitro spread on the table. Now, I know you're looking at it and you're telling yourself, wow, man, Hybrid, he got himself quite the smorgasbord. And I normally don't like to use words like smorgasbord because they have no meaning to the Nitro Gang. To us, only words like internal combustion has meaning. So, my question to you all is, are you liking the spread? Barncat, how you doing, man? We got ourselves Michael Sucha, Rory Holler. I know I saw your comment there today on the history of Schumacher video, and I left you a little feedback comment as well. In fact, the history of Schumacher video today, Nitro J, a special friend of mine. You guys will get to meet him in a video shortly. Nitro Jamie, how you doing? Tara Curry. We got John Hensley, only RC Nitros. Nitro Pimp is here, who just picked himself up the new WR8. Now, the chassis under here were provided to me by Nitro J. He is in the chat right now. Guys, everybody tell him special thank you. Hooking up the Nitro Gang with 2 vintage Nitros. Engines are mine. The bodies, I had the bodies, but we're just going to talk about the chassis. So let me wait a little while and let you guys get in the stream here. This is looking to be a little Fast and Furious style, is it not? I think it is. Dom Toretto ain't here, but Hybrid Dom is, baby. Okay. RC Nitro Flux, thank you, bro. Appreciate that effort. We're going to have to decide which of these will be repaired in a little bit. I do want to mention, I am trying to go for great lighting, great quality, minimal vibrations. This is, after all, I actually wasn't expecting to do a HPI spread here on the table. It just randomly happened. But you know what? When you have a bunch of great products in the hobby, you wind up with greatness on the table. I hope everybody here had a great week. I do want to say, helicopter down a day ago. That is still being discovered. And in fact, it was the top CEO, well, not CEO, of Siemens. All right, Northeast Mods, how you doing, man? So, let me continue with the story. I want to ask you all a question. Anybody here think these are okay to average to not terrible engines? Let me just get a little closer. JR's Garage, man. How you doing, man? Long time no see. Welcome back. I saw you just recently resubscribed to the channel membership. That's awesome. It's going to really help 1 or 2 of these out down the line. Anyway, let's go over what we got for engines. Because if you have a sneaky suspicion that we're missing engines, do you think we're missing engines in these cars? You really can't tell, can you? You cannot tell. Now, I know there are people here that can really appreciate them a proper Honda S2000. I am one of those people. This one has the integrated cooling hole instead of the headlight. Real sickening. Then we got ourselves probably the best looking HPI body I think ever made for a 10 scale. Well, other than the Cobras. Did I say Cobra? I meant Viper. The Viper. Yeah, the Viper. The M3. This might even have been maybe the original body. I am not totally sure. My question to you all now, and I'm going to move this out of the way there to a degree. Let's talk engines. We're going to have to pick one of these to go into one of these. I don't know which one yet, but we're going to do it together. We got Sergio M, Jose Velasquez here, Kyle G, Soren, and the Cake. How you doing, man? let's take a quick look at this one first. This is a pretty proper engine. Anybody know what that is? I mean, I could tell you what it is. It's obviously something that's going to need a little bit of work. The pull starter is destroyed. But, go ahead, tell me what you think this is for, how it's set up. You could tell a lot just based on the header for an HPI. This is the highly desirable, the delicious 15SS. Guys, 15SS. So, we'll just keep this in mind for now. What's good about the 15SS is they were 2 needle carbs, that's the low speed, and ABC piston and sleeves. So they were actually very good engines for the time period if you were coming off of an ABN style engine. So that's option 1. Now, I'm not going to show you the cars yet. We're going to get down to the cars. How you doing there? All aspects. Gearhead Harvey, what's up, brother? Happy Friday Nitro to you all. We're looking at a little bit of a different view, but views don't matter when you could see a Nitro from every angle. And trust me personally, I could see it from every angle. Okay, next engine. Don't worry much about, the clutch bell accessories. That's part of what we're going to have to do. And by we, I mean me. Check this out. Now, I know it looks like a real ugly trash engine. And it's okay if you say it is. We're not going to get upset. This is, people here could take a constructive criticism. But in fact, this was, Pizza Nitro, how you doing, bro? This was HPI's Nova Rossi produced, Kyle G is correct, C12. You could see on the inside, it says C12, right? Also, you could tell the sealed backplate has the Nova Rossi flat style screws. So this is a proper power plant. I know it's an ugly cooling head. It looks like the 15FE. The anodizing sucks. But this engine has amongst the best compression I have ever come across in an engine. In fact, it's a 0.12. I think these were rated a little over 1 horsepower. The important thing, guys, when you're looking at like old Nitro engines like this and you're trying to stick them into something, because I know we're all trying to stick something into something there, you know what I'm saying? One way or another in life. That's how things work. So Kyle G, yes, these are basically Nova Rossi 0.12 engines. I don't want to say it's like a Nova Mega or nothing, but it's basically just like those 0.12 engines that people put into 10 scale on-road race cars like a Trinity, like a Serpent, stuff like that. But this was the HPI version. You could tell we have ourselves, the carb even says Nova Rossi on it right there. All metal, all Nova Rossi, and a pretty hardcore rotary linkage at that. So this engine actually has, I'll spin it. Oh, it has very proper compression. Don't worry about the clutch bell accessories. All of this I'm going to have to revise. Oh, sickening. Very good compression. Nothing is seized. Nothing is jammed. And who wants to tell me here what is one of the most important parts that you guys see on an old HPI engine that you need? I'm kind of pointing to it right now. It's the small block engine mounts. This is what you need to put this into pretty much any HPI. You gotta have these mounts. These are priority. The mounts are literally a fortune, right? So header, don't worry about the header. The header's just like here for, display ugly purposes only. Now, let us continue. So this is engine number 2. You haven't even really seen the chassis yet. By the way, guys, if you haven't noticed, the WR8 from HPI, brand new with LED lighting, is in stock at A-Main. The very first link in the video is that chassis. I would highly recommend you get it. And yell 1 speed is all you need. Let's go to the next engine. So we have 2 optional HPI engines. Obviously the pull starter here is not good. I could show it to you later, but it's not good. Let's go to the next one. This is probably the worst of them all, but this one also has very, Nitro J, bro, don't worry, But, you know, engine mounts are like that final touch on a cake. You can't have a cake without icing, right? Other day, Melissa and I made some Cinnabons. Of course, my stomach hurt after. But before the stomach hurt, the icing went on top of those Cinnabons. Melissa, you got a picture of the Cinnabons? Damn, she got a picture, guys. Can't believe it. The one time I ask something and it's a yes. Until she pulls up the picture. Let's take a look at this. So this is probably my least favorite engine. This is the 15, the 15T. You want to see those Cinnabons? I'll show you the Cinnabons. If anyone knows things about buns, it's me, guys. Trust me. So here we go. We got those Cinnabons right there. Delicious, huh? You see that icing? Gave me a stomach ache. But it was worth it before the stomach ache. Trust me, it was worth it. In fact, I have another one that I can bake up like after this video. So, thank you for that. Guys, thank you for joining me here today. Let's continue, everybody. The 15T engine. It's not my favorite, but there's one important thing about this engine. It also, by the way, yes, all of them have very, very good compression. This one is, it's insane compression. The compression is, it has more compression than the helicopter that crashed. Oh, sickening. Very good. The important thing about an engine like this, you have mounts that go directly to the block, but you could also use the optional small block engine mounts. Right? So based on these factors, when I show you these chassis, we will have to decide which one we can put in. You feel me? Also be aware of the flywheels. I'm not guaranteeing you that these are the correct flywheels for these models, everybody. So, 3 HPI engines. Okay, everybody's saying too soon. Too soon. I mean, I don't know. It was like an oligarch on that helicopter, though, to be honest with you. But, all right, too soon. If we got some people that are upset, I take it back, okay? I take it back. If I say a statement that is too soon or people don't understand or respect, I'm man enough to say I was wrong. And in that case, fine, I was wrong. May the Holy Spirit of whatever kind rest with them. But it appears, I've read a lot of comments on the situation. Half the people believe it was sabotage. Half the people believe it ran out of fuel. So, who knows? Speculation could still be assigned, I would say, in my opinion. So, let us continue. Guys, I'm going to give you all an option. Which one are we going to look at first? Although, to be honest with you, issues with those helicopter tours in New York, this is not the first time that like those helicopters have crashed. Weren't there some famous incidents a couple of years ago? So, you know, they basically, when that stuff happens, there's always conversation of getting rid of those tours. But hey, listen, when you're a rich oligarch from Siemens, you could do what you want. GeoMac, how you doing, man? So, let us continue. I see we got a vote for the S2000. Is that correct? Is it S2000 time? So, we're going to take a look at each one of these. And the goal here is to determine what we want to do first. Because you guys haven't really seen what the chassis is. JW, how you doing, man? The goal is to see what the chassis is. All right. Should we unbody it? Darren, how you doing, man? Yeah, Lotus RC is correct. I'm going to read this comment about the helicopter. He goes, the picture looked like the main rotor disconnected during the flight. It could be sabotage or it could be bad maintenance. I will say that is correct. All right, so I'm going to say something, guys. This particular model, don't worry about the body. The body is just something I snatched up. You ever snatch anything? I snatch bodies. You know, like that movie, The Body Snatcher? Maybe. So, this, I will say, under here is the rarest Nitro that I have. Robinzilla, what's up? I have never had on the channel. Ever. So, in fact, I think we could unbody it. Okay, I have never had this on the channel, ever. Jerry Gomez goes, I snatch Nitro deals. I try, man. I try. But sometimes people snatch them up. Which is absolutely fine. I'm more than happy to get other RC snatchers out there. So, I know it looks pretty bad. But I'm going to tell you something, bros. This is probably, in terms of age, well, not probably, 100%. In terms of age, the oldest HPI Nitro ever shown on this channel. If anybody here that has been watching this channel for a long time can correct me, I'll listen to that. But who wants to tell me what model this is? I mean, I know what model this is. And yes, it's missing a lot. But it's not missing so much that it's not restorable. Let me first start off with, I'll just enlight a little bit. Nitro Pimp goes, what's the deal with the silver chassis? I'm glad you asked, Nitro Pimp. I am really glad you asked. And to answer your question, I'm going to have to tell you a little bit of history. So, every RS42 on this channel so far, as I just said, are actually RS42 models. They're second generation models, right? If I show you one, let me just show you quickly on the wall here. 1 second. You see this is a box? It says RS42. These are the second generation models. Right there. Second gen Nitro kit. What about the first model? Well, this in fact is the very first RS4. They came with silver chassis. Pretty interesting. Now, yes, there's literally close to no differences. I don't think I've ever in my life seen an original RS4, ever, but this is one of them. And the main way to know, Antonio Landis, how you doing, man? I'm glad you got your daughter into Nitro and you are enjoying the hobby. So these were silver chassis, just called the RS4. Not the RS42, which is literally every single Nitro that's out there. Okay? Who wants to tell me which engine these came with? Now, I can Google it, but I don't need to because I know the facts, bros. I know the facts. What engine these came with? And then we'll discuss the condition. We'll look at the other one. So go ahead. Tell me what engine these models came with. Jerry goes 15SS. Nitro Pimp is correct. They came with a .12 FE. .12. That is why this is extremely rare. Now, I'm not trying to tell you it's the most valuable. I'm not trying to tell you this is better or worse. I am only telling you that this is the oldest of the RS4 series ever made. Okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And that is essentially my goal, is to talk about the history of these models. Notice the handle is also highly revised from the RS42. RS42 has a much smoother handle. Let's take a look around this side just to do a little bit of a condition check, right? So, D-Rob, how you doing, bro? He goes, I have a .12 brand new in the package. That is, I'm going to have to say it, extremely sickening. Let me see if I can pull up the very first RS4. Give me a second, guys. I want to show it to you so we don't have any naysayers about what hybrid over here is saying. That's fine. But, you know, naysayers don't want to nay it, you know? So, I'm going to show it to you right now. You ready to do a little observation? All right, I'm going to zoom in. So this is the very first RS4. Don't worry about the body. Obviously, I don't have the correct body. 1997 .12 Nitro Star engine. Let's go down. So this is what it would have looked like. I mean, I basically have almost all of that. You could tell this is before the purple anodizing. Purple wasn't really a thing yet. You could see the shock caps are just regular silver anodized. It says 12 on the side and it has the can muffler. So when they went to the newer generation RS4 II, it was, if you didn't get the kit, they had a .15 FE engine, still the square style head. But I got to tell you, I'm a fan of the 3-spoke wheels, man. I'm a fan of the 3-spoke wheels. Break a leg FPV, congratulations on the new Baja. That's some hardcore stuff right there. Right, so not really that interesting, to be honest with you. All that matters on the very first RS4 is engine-wise, they had a 12. But right now, throughout the years, you're almost never going to find one with the stock engine. It's very, very rare. That's right, Pizza Nitro. Those are the proper Viper wheels that it would have had at the time. What matters is the models and the silver chassis. So we know which model we have. It's the 1997 RS4, the most basic model. Well, I don't want to say most basic. It's how it is. This was actually pretty good at the time because, well, compared to everything else, this had oil-filled shocks. I'm not totally sure if it came with bearings. Let me see if it came with bearings. I'm not sure. So, yeah, no, it came with bushings. Actually, these came with bushings. No, some bushings, some bearings. Gear type diffs and 2mm chassis. So also, yes, they have a real thin chassis. RS4 basic. Drivetrain is the same. Anyway, the conversation right now is, do I have enough of a starter platform here to, using any of these engines, all of them are going to be going somewhere. Using any of these engines, what can I make happen today? That's right. NitroPimp is correct. ABN engines, all of them, zero compression. Well, that is why people at that time period would have bought the 15SS. But this really wasn't out at the very beginning of it. So this is only like later on. The pull starter thing is dead, by the way. I just have it here hanging. But everything else is there. What matters about this is we have the small block engine mounts. Very, very important. We have a 2-needle carb. We have a relatively correct flywheel. And we have the A875 pilot shaft, pilot nut it's called. All of these are super, super important. But I'm not going to tell you right now exactly which car I want to repair first. Because honestly, I don't think I have the parts to repair both of them. We're going to have to take a look at that M3 in a little bit. But let's just go over this. Richard B, what's up, bro? Guys, thank you for joining me here on Friday Nitro. It doesn't look like there's really that many viewers, but it's not about the numbers. It's about the adventure, okay? So, if you can, give it a thumbs up. If not, that's all good too. I'm not here for the numbers. I've been here for the nitros. Anyway, the good thing, let's talk about what's good on this chassis first, because you know, I need to start picking what I'm going to work with first. I don't think I'll be able to do both based on just like engines and mounts alone. The mounts are going to be, in fact, my limiting factor, I believe, guys. Unfortunately, as sad as that actually sounds. Servos, not the end of the world. I can get them. The belts on this one are good. This is a single speed model. I also checked. Antonio, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. The diffs based on just spinning the wheels, obviously we're not under power, but it does appear to have correct four-wheel drive. And I checked the fuel tank for pressure. The fuel tank has good pressure seal. What else is good on this model? We do have the brake cam, the brake disc. The belt is relatively pitted, but it's not the end of the world. The belt really doesn't matter. We do have a tank, right? So essentially, engine-wise, if I can get one to drop in here, this would probably be the way to go, I think. Obviously, header-wise, I'll have to use this header. So yeah, the header, I'll have to use this header. No matter what, the headers are interchangeable, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going to stick it in there permanently right now, but obviously these aren't the original clutch bells, so we're going to have to use some of the adjustment features. That I think could be a problem, in fact. But this is just a quick little observation. So, oh, I noticed what else I'm missing. Anybody want to tell me I'm missing? I already see a major issue. A major issue. Assuming the headers are correct. Forget about the headers. Anybody see another major issue right now? Nitro Pimp Ghost Throttle Servo. Yes, I'm actually worried about the linkage. The linkage. You need a proper linkage for this. So you need a rotary carb, and you need the correct linkage. The RS4 linkage is not the same as the RS43. Servos, I don't care about the servos. That's no big deal. Battery pack, no big deal. That's nothing. The linkage to the carb is really what matters here. If you don't have that, you can make one, obviously. So it's not horrible. I just wonder if I'll have enough gear mesh adjustments. So right now, it looks like, Woogie Nitro, how you doing, man? That's right, bro. That's right. We try to resurrect old Nitros. By the way, for those of us just joining, this is the very first RS4 from 1997. So let me just see if I have... So right here, looks like my clutch bell is meshing. Obviously, it's not screwed in. Just want to see if I have... Okay. So yeah, the HPI small block engine mounts do seem to line up. So this is an option. This is an option. We have a Robinson. This appears to be a Robinson Racing flywheel, I think. So yeah, this is the very first RS4. In fact, very, very rare these days. People believe that someone removed the anodizing, but no. This is how these models were. This is before the purple era. Make sense? Okay, guys. Should we move on to the other one? Could I get a hell yeah for the Beamer body? Man, that M3 is literally the best looking proportion body, I think, for 10 scale nitros. It's just a good looking body. And plus, they're not very thin. HPI really outdid themselves on these bodies because they are not thin. And usually, if people don't cut out these windows, they will survive almost a 1 megaton nuclear attack. Not 2 megatons, 1 megaton. Good. How you doing there, Texas Hill, bro? Happy to see you here. I appreciate that glow plug link, man. I put in an offer for it. And yes, good point made by the Nitro Pimp. Zachary, what's up? Screws are not countersunk. Good point. So, yeah. No countersinking of the screws. Let's continue. So we've seen this chassis. Let's move on to the second one. Melissa, can you move that from the body? Just put it on the couch somewhere. So, and after this, it's time to do a little bit of work. No, leave it. Melissa trying to touch my nitros over there, which is fine. That's allowed. I'm just rearranging them. Can you pick this one up? Hold this rearranged. I'm doing the Limp Bizkit rearranged. Off Nagai, how you doing, man? Happy to see you here. Happy Friday. And put it over there, please. So, next up is this particular model. And also, as I'm talking about everything, and I want you guys to think of which engine is the best fit. That's essentially my goal here today, bros. Which engine is the best fit in terms of how easy will it be to put in and what would I need to make it happen. So let's take the body off. This is a different chassis. Grizzly, what's up, man? Okay. So let me get down to it. This is obviously another chassis. This is the more modern RS4 3 chassis, but not the very first model. This, in fact, it's hard to tell when you have no engine, but this appears to be maybe an Evo, pretty much anything with a 2-speed model. Now we're going to go over what's wrong with this. And I think the Hawkeyes here, if you're a Hawkeye, you saw already what's wrong with it, right? Yeah, this is the most popular of the RS4 models. In fact, this was my very first model, but the cheaper model, not this one. So the good thing, I'll tell you a little bit so far before I continue, guys. Fuel tank is really good on this model. Suspension is good. What's bad? Body posts, bad. I might have a body post somewhere. If not, I'll have to order a ton of them. Body post bad. Disc brake over there good. Oh, hi, Richard B goes. He saw the Beef series a while ago. Yeah, man. We just finished watching Beef on Netflix. You know, they really should not have started that beef with that stupid road rage. Driving is a privilege, not really a right. Anyway, let us continue. So the main issue, the gears look like they went to the dentist and got some drilling. That is the first gear. Second gear appears to be in good shape, but the first gear, it has went to the dentist right there, bros. It's bad. It's real bad. Drivetrain wise, other than that, it appears to be normal. Most important thing, throttle linkage all in one place for the rotary car. Brake linkage here, servo saver is good. Radio box seems to be, here. So, next up, let's see what is the easiest engine to install into this chassis. Melissa, you having fun over there? Let me see what you're doing. Did you do a little bit?
No, I'm trying to make a box.
Let me see how far ahead you are.
I'm not far at all.
You're not far at all? You're not like Christopher Columbus was when he traveled the world? No? Okay. He got lost though, but who knows? Anyway, let us continue. So, I might have the gear. So let's talk about the gear later. I might actually have to swap the gears out on this today. Bottom of the chassis is not terrible at all. In fact, this is probably one of the better ones you will see. But that's pretty bad. Now, I see you guys talking about Northeast Mods. Goes, do I have a 2-speed clutch belt? Melissa, where's my bag of parts? Give me that bag right there. So, I've stayed up 2 nights, everybody. Stayed up 2 nights. Went to bed late in order to compile just like a data entry programming code. I used SQL, I used COBOL, and I used some old mainframe. I'm kidding around, I didn't use any of that. I've compiled all of my HPI parts. This is like literally gold. I am convinced amongst all of this, some of these models can be resurrected. So we have a 2-speed clutch belt. We have a couple flywheels. We have some Robinson Racing lightweight flywheels. And this might actually be a buggy one, I'm not sure. Most important thing, Nitro Pimp knows that is gold. This is in fact the 47 tooth first speed gear that's stripped. Guys, I stayed up late, barely made it through my workday in order to compile a list using old software languages of clutch bells. So let's go through some of it, because I guarantee you some of it will be useful. All right, and maybe people here don't know, but a lot of this stuff is pretty important. So here we have ourselves 2 different styles, or rather generations of 2-speed clutch bells. You could obviously tell they use completely different bearing sizes. This is the old style RS4 and RS42 clutch bell. So this model, what's important to know, this is not interchangeable, meaning it's all one piece. These are not pinions. Basically, these gears are just molded. On the newer RS43 Evo style and up clutch bells, not only are the bearing holes on the outside much larger, thicker, but these are individual pinions. I will say that this aluminum material is pretty weak. I have rarely seen these steel ones get really bad, but these aluminum pinions are real bad. It's still totally usable, I would say. Richard B, please make that suggestion. Melissa will take a notice of it. She's over here on the other end. Melissa,
Yeah.
see what Richard B says we should watch. Anyway, so this is an option. This is obviously going to be going over here. So what I'll do, I'm going to just start putting parts that I think will go on this chassis. Next up. Thank you guys for joining me here today. By the way, I don't know if this is a very interesting live for you or not. I wouldn't say it's the most viewership ever. You know, I can go pull out cars right now that I think will be way more interesting. But I'm not all about shock value. I'm about treating this hobby with respect and doing things that matter. So I have two clutch bells. They're literally exactly the same. I would say this one is actually worse. So we're going to get rid of this one. Now, I think this we're going to need. This is the first speed gear. I'm just compiling the parts I need. So let me ask you all a question. Assuming I have the rest of the parts, right? Who knows what that is over there? Go ahead. If you know what that is, I will get a pizza after this video. I'm still going to get a pizza, but, you know, I'll enjoy it. Who knows what this piece in the bag is right there? Ray Coral, thank you, man. I appreciate you, bro. That's going towards the Nitro Pizza Fund. And parts for this, because I guarantee you I'm going to run into problems. So, this is called a drive washer. I don't have an engine right now to demonstrate it on. Oh, no, yes, I do. Melissa, give me that junk engine over there. This is called a drive washer. So, thank you for that donation from Ray Coral, bro. I appreciate it. This is an engine choice that I had, but I have since discarded it. So that's why I didn't show this engine as an option. Although this is a Duratrax 18. Who wants to tell me what is significant about this model? So while I let you guys talk about it, only RC, thank you, man. I'm going to show you right now. This is called a drive washer. That's it. On the older style HPIs, drive washers, exactly. West Hobbies. Yeah, but they're generally used for airplane props. That's true. But on these models, you could see that they're keyed in such a way that it slots in. And that's it. It's locked onto the crank over there. This is a standard shaft. And your flywheel would basically sit on this side. So basically, you need this for like a spacing instead of using a collet. It's kind of like my logic, but you basically need it for spacing. Sometimes you run into having to use this. This thing is also like gold. This is basically called a drive washer. Not all engines use them. Wonderbread, how you doing, bro? Wonderbread, nice to meet you, man. People call me Hybrid. That's all good. You know, this week I was at the hobby store in WeRRC in Pennsylvania. I told the viewers there to call me Hybrid. Melissa, is that true?
Yes.
Can you say it with some meaning?
Yes.
Okay. Every time I ask you, is it true? It's like I made it up. I didn't make it up, bros. I don't care about my name. My name don't matter. I drove a Smart for 4 years of my life, baby. Okay? I'm proud of being an ex-Prius owner. Okay, so we're going to get rid of this. I don't think we're going to use this drive washer in this case. Next up, we'll talk about the rest here. I'm not going to pull out anything too crazy. If you guys have any questions about anything. Oh, I have one more item I do want to discuss. It's actually very, very, very important, believe it or not. If you run into this problem, you're going to have a major situation. And that has to do with flywheel nuts. Clutch nuts, flywheel nuts. Notice I have two of them. Also notice one is much shorter than the other. Anybody want to tell me a reason why? So these are like the main things you need to know when you're working on these kind of, I mean, they're called pilot nuts or pilot shafts or clutch nuts, really. So what happens is Yes, Jerry Gomez, the genius, is correct. Northeast Mods is correct as all. Also, one is for a single speed. This one, the shorter one, is for a one speed, and the longer one is for a two-speed assembly. Obviously, it's safe to say that a two-speed clutch bell is longer. That's the physical reason why. So how this would normally work? Once you have, well, I don't have the flywheel here right now. This is the wrong engine. But let's just say, okay, I already took off all the accessories. Where's that pilot nut? So how this normally would work, let's say I wanted to use this engine. This engine is toast, by the way. Let's say I wanted to use this engine. I would insert this. Then, well, not every flywheel would in fact work. Let's assume I'm using, no, this one wouldn't work either. It's not the right size. It's not the right generation flywheel. These are not the right flywheels. Actually, none of these are the correct flywheels. But if I had the right flywheel to demonstrate, I'm going to remove this. Let's just backtrack. This is not going to work. Either way, we're going to continue. I'm going to put, let's see. So this engine is toast. The good thing about the, oh yeah, nobody ever answered what's unique about this Duratrax 18. Huh? Go ahead. Nobody answered, bros. What's going on over here, man? So these were, in fact, OS manufactured engines. You could even tell. That's right, Kyle G is correct. They have essentially a clone of the OS pull starter. And how do I know? Because I know an OS pull starter like the amount of teeth in my mouth, okay? Don't ask me to count them. They're all there. Whatever the human tooth count is, that's how many there are. Rare Coral goes, what about the cooling head? So yes, the Duratrax ones obviously were quite ugly. In fact, Tamiya used OS as their engine manufacturer. These are essentially OS 18s, probably a CVR, but this one has no compression. I've already tried to rehab it. It's negative compression. Pull starter is good. The cord is good. The carb, I am not sure about. In fact, I couldn't get it out. I had to like drill, Dremel these for quite a bit. But this engine is toast for now. It's only really going to be used for parts if I need the pull starter or the one-way bearing. There's nothing else I can do with this for now. All right, Melissa, put this to the side. Put on the side of the, over there. All right, guys. So I'm going to ask you all a question. Based on what we just talked about and the parts and the engines I got, just for now, I think we could all agree I should probably begin working on this one. If you want, I could put a sickening poll in the chat right now. Should I put a poll in the chat to make a little audience engagement interaction happen? By the way, I do want to show you the in-stock. Okay, you guys look like you're agreeing. Let me just show you the in-stock WR8, just in case. So here we are. That's all of us right there in the chat. Sickening, how you doing? I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to click the very first link, the Ford Cosworth at A Main. Price, it's a little up there. $5.99 is not the cheapest. But I do want to confirm members of the Nitro Gang did say, and GeoMax specifically, it does come equipped with the lights. That I think is worth it. Light kit alone, depending on how crappy they are, could be from like $30 to, well, more. This appears to be like a proper light pod. I don't know. But these are in stock. If you guys want to click it, ship date is tomorrow. That will be sickening. All right, let's go back to the HPI. But the question was, do we want a poll? Because I could easily do a poll right now, man. Lasso Kid, how you doing, man? James Simroth, how you doing? All right, I don't think we need a poll. This is pretty much self-explanatory. I'm going to say this is probably going to be the way to go. So the problem is, on the older RS4, the very first gen, I believe I will run into engine mount problems. That's what I think is going to happen. On this one, first, we need to swap the bad gear. So, are we into that or what? I think we're going to have to do it. So I'm going to put these parts to the side. This is definitely going to be the bearings I'll have to look up. First thing we need to do is put in a non-busted spur gear. So dig into the spur or what? I think it's dig into the spur time. There's really not much else I can do with this right now, because if I put the engine in first and start testing it with a 2-speed, it's not going to be a good idea. Trust me, it's going to be a bad idea. You really need to have the drivetrain completely working before you dig into anything else. I've worked on these cars for many years so far, and you really want to have the drivetrain perfect. All right, Terra goes, let's make it happen. All right, so we're going to make it happen. There's multiple ways of making it happen. One of them is to get pliers in your hand.
Which ones do you need?
Yellow. Amarillo, por favor. Okay, yellow pliers. I'm going to remove the entire battery tray. And we're going to just dig in to the trans right now. You guys let me know if you could see okay. I sure would like a more comfy chair. All right. Give me that screwdriver sticking out. All right, this is the brake linkage. Essentially, all this should just pop out. All right, super bright, people saying. All right, great. Okay, we got the entire radio tray out as a single unit. Solid. You see that? That's why these cars are just really a pleasure to work on. Solid. Easy to go back in. Nilla Bean, how you doing, man? Happy to see you here on the stream. We are, well, by we, I mean me, trying to get to the middle of this trans. Next thing up, Ray Coral, that Blizzard. So, there's actually 2 different Blizzards. The one from the short, that one was not mine. That one belongs to Tarek. You will see it in a video soon. That one's actually perfect. It was brand new. The one I have is slightly worse. The one with the blue painted body. But the one from the short was actually not mine, but I do possess one. Man, don't you love having friends with sickening rare RCs? I know I do. All right, so let's remove this. We need to get... What I'm doing now is just removing the cover. They call this a differential housing, really. But, I mean, obviously there's no diff. It's just a 2-speed. But Red Cat, you know, some of their gas RCs calls it all a diff housing as well, which is not really correct. But, okay, so this should just come off. I don't know if I'm going to remove this part. Okay, here we go. Ba-boom. There you go. The cover just comes out. That's it. That's the entire cover. Easy. It's basically close to being symmetrical. You could only install it one way. You can't really even get it wrong. All right, now we're up to this part. Let me spin it around. So, next up, drive shafts. We're just going to leave them here. The the entire trans unit, they are different lengths. So, you know, you can't really put the wrong ones in. Well, if you know what you're doing. All right, so we got the trans. This is the first gear. How do I know it's first gear? Because if I spin it, it's on the one way. And, well, it's spinning the whole system. And the second gear, this smaller one that seems to be good, it also has the adjustment screw on it through the middle there. That one's fine, so we need to swap this one out. All right. So I'm gonna get to work, guys. Disc brake, just gonna put it here where all the parts could be like lined up. So we need to slide this out. That means we need to remove all these parts. Melissa, give me one of those silver drivers. Mix RC, what's up, man? Another one. Wrong one. Another one. Oh man, it's not that one. Oh, she gave me 3 and they're all wrong. It's not her fault. I had it in the wrong position. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna remove this part. And the goal is just to swap this gear out with a replacement one. We could always be sure before you disassemble anything that it's actually the same part number. We could tell it is in fact exactly the same part number. 47 teeth and the same part number. We good? We in agreement? Do we have to vote? Do we have quorum? We probably have it. Okay. I mean, this is pretty easy to work on. This ain't like taking apart like you know, an LST transmission over here. All right, be careful with all of these small parts also. There's a, I forgot what it's called, a roll pin. That's a roll. Did I say it correctly? Roll pin. Okay, I think the roll pin has to come out. Yeah, the roll pin has to come out. All right. Yeah, NitroGang goes, that one has 43.5 teeth, right? Okay, so I'm going to try to push this roll pin out. Because there's no way I can get it to move otherwise. All right, so far it's okay. These are supposed to, basically the goal of this roll pin is to be a little, provide some friction so it doesn't just move around too much. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. I'm going to have to push it out with a punch of some kind. Okay, we're going to try to push it. Mix RC, man, I am swapping out the stripped first gear on this RS4. That's not going to work. Need to push that roll pin out. If it doesn't work, I'll add a little bit of heat. This is actually the most annoying part, is this roll pin. Could also easily stab yourself, so. Okay, now it's going. I pushed it a little bit. It's almost out. But it has a lot of friction. That's basically the purpose of that part. Raymond, how are you, man? Happy Friday. I am swapping out this gear on the RS43. Oh, this part is tight. Oh, we got it. Finally. You see that roll pin? That's a baddie. They say baddies about people these days, but I say baddies about roll pins, bros. Roll pins. Okay. So this is the new one. I don't know if the gear, if the one-way is good, but we'll be able to tell right away. So it goes in facing this direction. It's a single unit is basically what it is. So let's see if I could just slide this in. It's the one-way bearing sits inside there, right? These are essentially 2 different pieces. So let me slide it on. I'll see if it, okay, one-way actually works. I can move it and it's moving in my hands. Good. So I think I'm just gonna swap it out, not replace the one-way. We're gonna keep it like that. We in agreement or what, bros? We in agreement? Okay. Let's get the roll pin back in. I mean, this might be a sickeningly fast repair. Well, I mean, this is only one step, of course. This ain't all of it. All right, we got the roll pin. I'm going to push it back in. There's really no other way you can test it. It either engages or it doesn't. So, and I do want you to know, guys, I did wash that one-way bearing before. So don't think I just stuck in some dirty crap in there. No, I didn't do that. All right, let me push this roll pin. Let's going in. All right. Oh, too much. Roll pin, man. Okay, it's going in. All right. I would say it's pretty centered. Yeah, it's pretty centered. All right. Next up, we're going to put this portion back on. That's just a locking ring. That's it. And the outdrive, the diff outdrive. And that's basically servicing the RS43 trans. Question is, I don't know if it should be going deep or not. Did I start off like this? I'm going to have to rewind to see how far I started off with that gear. How long ago did I start doing this? Okay. I'm going to watch my own video. Okay. No, hold on. All right. Yeah, it was like this. It has to have a little bit of space over there. Okay. I just rewound my video, bros. Okay, so that's good. We can tighten this up. Tight, baby. All right. That's it. Once it's sitting, it won't really wobble. So this bearing is going to be pushed in anyway, so it's going to be tightened right, as Jeff says. Savage Rob, how you doing, man? Yeah, okay. I think this is done. I mean, the teeth aren't 100%. They're like 99%. Well, as Scott Steiner says, 66 and 2/3% good. Could I get a hell yeah, baby, for a little bit of a swap so far? Okay. What I'd like to do now is maybe clean up the chassis. We good with that? All right. Kyle over here. First one. I'm going to clean it up with a wipe. It's always good to clean things up when you get down to business over here. Just makes working on a car a little more rewarding. Do a couple more and I'll show the viewers. Melissa's doing her pastime hobby while I'm over here getting my hands dirty. It's fine. JR Garage with a 2-speed, baby. Okay, so the trans is pretty clean. The disc brake is just like the factory plastic brake. It's not the carbon one. Usually people would upgrade this. Okay. But this is going to be a looker, I think, when it's done. All right. Savage Rob goes, what clutches do these use? These generally use either an HPI racing clutch, which I don't have, or just a 2-shoe clutch. I'm going to get down to the clutch because we're going to have to assemble everything. You know, I'm going to have to, if I choose to install this engine, obviously I'm going to have to remove all this and install the 2-speed clutch bell and the 2-speed clutch nut. So I'm far away from being done, in fact. Real far away. Got over 100 viewers here, guys. Thank you for being here with me on Friday Night Nitro. I see we got a person in the chat saying, would you use Loctite? Generally, yes. But, like, I might have to disassemble some of this. This is, like, the preliminary build. You know, I'm using engines and parts from multiple generations currently, but hopefully nothing goes bad. The what? Booster? Oh, Booster RC. Oh, how you doing, bro? Booster RC, man. Happy to see you here. I'm, you know, just getting my hands dirty again. Typical Friday. Man, I was on the bus today going home from work, guys. The guy was driving so erratically, I thought he was going to give me freaking nausea. It was like gas brake the whole time. All right, I'm not trying to do anything too crazy clean here, but it'll be fine. What matters is just the bearings can sit cleanly, can sit straight. All right, I mean, it looks fine. The chassis straight. Nothing's really out of place here. All right, bros. How you doing, man? Nitro Addiction. Your viewers and I missed you this week, bro. I know you're in the process of moving, but Nitro Addiction, You're gonna be back with your regularly scheduled streams, right? I think you are. Right. Oh yeah, I forgot to clean this upper portion of the diff housing. Well, this is beyond dirty. I should probably go wash this in the sink real well, to be honest with you. But if I do, I know some of you guys are gonna be leaving. So I gotta do what I can with what I have. I mean, it's not gonna be 100% clean, but yeah, it appears this one was exposed to some kind of red paint over the years. I don't know where that came from. I would say it's 90% clean. All right, it's fine. It'll dry up. Sickening. Yo, Melissa, when are we gonna order that pizza? I'm starving. Serious. We have any snacks? Let me show them. Guys, this is what Melissa's doing. Who remembers this? All the chicks on the school buses used to do this. It's that braid or some crap they put on their school bags. You remember that? I don't know how they did this. This is genius. Melissa, make one for the Nitro, please. We'll give it a little tail. I'm serious.
This is different colors.
Okay. People remember. All right. Let us continue. So I'm going to install the trans back in. And hopefully everything goes to plan. Once I do that, I'll figure out the engine situation. All right. This could be a little annoying getting the... Oh no. First thing, you got to slide the disc brake in. The positioning here actually could be a pain. Disc brake slides on, it's slotted, so there's no way you can get it wrong. It's actually easier to do it from this side. Okay, so we'll do it from this side. John Dixon, how you doing, man? Yeah, I've repaired these cars many times over the years. They're honestly pretty fun to work on. It's easier to start with the front drive shaft, just slide it in. Put this through the roll bar or handle. Put the disc brake on. Get the rear drive shaft. And it should just slot in. But this is the part you have to kind of do it on an angle to get the rear drive shaft in before you put it in the bearing. All right. All right, there we go. So the system is installed. It spins freely, no binding. First gear is engaging. Okay. All right, so it's good. I could tell the first gear works. It's spinning forward. All right, let's install the housing back on. This is actually going to be the most annoying part. You guys want to know why? Because you have to get the disc brake positioned perfectly between the pads. That could be a real, as they say in the acronym world, PIA. Okay. Top tip would actually be to put springs here so you don't have engagement or a dragging brake. Mix RC, no, I use those wipes like all the time. Honestly, they're super solid. Those Clorox cleaning wipes, they really kill the grease, man. I'm telling you, I would highly recommend it. Like, the chassis is real clean after. And it smells lemony. All right, let me see here from Sir Felt himself before I put this on. He goes, my RS43 has a brand new T3.0 and idles great, but when I hit full throttle and let off, it dies. It sounds like it's flooding itself because when you accelerate, it floods itself with fuel. It sounds like that's what you're having. Can you tell us, Sir Felt himself, if your nitro is running hot or not? Grown man, how you doing? Happy Friday to you, man. Is it running too hot? I'm going to try to install this. This is a little bit of the real... This part is actually the worst part. So you have to get the bearings and the tolerances are pretty tight. And you have to slot the disc brake in. The way I do this, I normally just go like this. Oh man, you see, as soon as you move it, these pads shift, and it's tough to actually get it in from the top. Come on, everybody. Say a little prayer for me, as they say in that song from Madonna. As soon as you do this, this brake pad moves. Oh, yeah. Okay. Got it. Got it. Slotted, baby. See that? It's sitting pretty. Rolls clean. No friction. It's done. All right. We can tighten the screws up. Install and start working on the engine. Radio tray could be the last part. Although the linkage is important too. You don't want to forget about the radio tray because, you know, the linkage geometry matters a lot. All right. Sir Felt himself says the temp is perfect. I would recommend you lean it out and see if you get the same response, because what you said, it sounds like it's flooding itself when you're accelerating. Because those carbs are 2 needle carbs. Okay, so it rolls good. We have drive, yeah. We have power. Okay, everything is good. And there's no friction or nothing like that. Wonder Bread over here, wrenching on the XTM Monster MT. Do you mean the Mammoth? I think you mean the Mammoth. Okay, next up, it's going to be engine time. All right, so it's still the ultimate debate. Which of these engines, obviously I'm going to have to install a 2-speed clutch bell on all of them. Which of these engines might be, I'll tell you all of them have good compression. It's going to be a matter of exhausts and what's easier for me to start. The problem with this one is the pull starter spring is destroyed. There's literally close to no spring on the inside. So no matter what I do, there's nothing. Engine itself is okay. Obviously, all of this will have to get replaced. I think the easiest thing to do, guys, thank you all for joining once again. By the way, tomorrow will be a sickening video. Well, let's give him. Tomorrow will be a sickening video. Let's just have a little conversation here for a second, everybody. I'm going to flip the screen. All right. So, tomorrow will be a sickening video, I hope. The topic of tomorrow's video will be a Nitro that has never been seen on this channel. It's not one of these, but it will be. I'm going to tell you a little something about it. It will be a Nitro that was rated to hit 60 miles an hour, won multiple world championships, and guess what? It was owned by a self-proclaimed realistic automotive mechanic. Do you guys think this guy tried to repair with car parts? You're gonna have to wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna tell you something. Repairing these models is not like working on a real car. It's completely different, okay? You don't use hose clamps. There's a lot of principles that are not like the same at all. But that's just a little intro for tomorrow's video. Unless, of course, I wake up and there's a sickening Nitro deal. In which case, I'm going to go on that deal. But for now, that's what it's going to be. It's not a fit scale. It's a proper Nitro touring car. Rated to hit 60 miles per hour, multiple championship winning design, features a 2-speed transmission, and owned by a mechanic. Okay, so the question is, did the mechanic try to kill it? Okay, did the mechanic try to kill it? All that and more you could find out tomorrow, bros. Okay, because right now It's time to get back to this RS4. 3. Never call an RS4 by the wrong name. If we lived in a different country, that would be a punishment. Okay, you get punished. But here, we're not gonna punish you. That's right, you finna find out tomorrow, Lotus. You see, you got me in trouble by saying that, bro. Anyway, I'm up to engine installation. Don't worry about the header. I'll eventually get a better header. This is just like a header for now. Obviously, I don't have the high flow one. I need like the HPI high flow one. They're like probably 20 bucks. I'm just trying to see if, obviously I need a 2-speed clutch bell. I mean, if only this engine was a better looking engine, but what do you guys think? Should I really go with this one? You know what? I'm worried. I don't know if this is going to be a problem now. This clutch bell seems to be hitting the chassis. It might not have enough height on those engine mounts. I need to see how tall this flywheel is, this clutch bell. It's the same size. So that means I would need to raise it by like 2 millimeters. If I put washers on the bottom, it'll work. You guys see the problem I just encountered? This chassis is too... These engine mounts are not tall enough. So if I put it down, that's right, Raymond. Raymond already knows. If I put it down like that, if even it gets mounted, it's going to scrape the bottom of the chassis. There's no ride height on that. Raw RC, what's up, man? Happy to see you here, bro. Got a nice little RC package today from Raw RC. There's a donor engine for a big block. I'm going to wash it up and we'll debut it in a little bit. So special thanks to Raw RC. So that's kind of the problem. I don't think it's going to spin. If I mount it, I mean, it might spin. If I put a washer, it'll be fine. To be honest with you, if I add a washer and angle it like this, it'll be fine. Yeah, Jerry Gomez, bro, I already lost that old camera with a great video on it from Nitro Addictions. Savage. That was disgusting how I lost that video camera. Disgusting. I'm still angry over it. I haven't bought a new one yet. Still angry over it. So that's kind of the problem. The next consideration, I'm worried about those engine mounts. The next consideration is, will these fit? I wouldn't mind using this T15, to be honest with you. It is a rotary carb. Obviously, I'll have to convert all this. All right, so this one seems to sit way better. Yeah, I think this engine is designed for this chassis. I don't know, guys. I'm thinking we're going to have to go with this one. What do you think? Are we going to get anyone upset over that? Yo, Melissa, we got over 110 viewers here. It's a lot of viewers. But as they know, we don't do it for the numbers. We do it for the epic restorations. I think this is probably going to be my best idea, guys. I don't know, because these engine mounts are too low. That's not going to do anything. All right, I think I'm going to have to use this for now, right? The other problem is, honestly, I wanted to use this engine in that RS4. I'm wondering if this will also be okay, but I would have to swap this out. This pull starter is killed. All right. So what do we say? This one? All right. I'm going to try to go with this one, but that means I need to convert it to a 2-speed clutch bell. Oh, man. I'm getting tired. This is like such a good-looking single-speed assembly here, to be honest with you. No bearing noise, no wobble. So what do we think? Use this one? Joe Bates, how you doing, man? Yes, this engine is the 15SS Very rare. The only problem is pull starter is busted. So yeah, I see people saying to tell me to use different engine mounts. Ideally, these would be the mounts you want to use. Let me compare the height. Ideally, if I use these mounts, this would be perfect. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. So actually, these mounts will be perfect. The small block engine mounts. You could see that they're taller. I don't know if I want to get into all that, to be honest with you. Kind of got a bit of a headache right now. I'm thinking. Also, I gotta make considerations for this. Although this is just a rotary carb, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm thinking if I just add a shim here, it'll be fine. What do we say? Try to make this fit? I'm gonna try to make this fit. Because that engine, it really would be a good engine for a single speed model. Nah, JW, this is, I know this head is ugly, but this is in fact a Novorossi made engine. So you can see on the carb over here, this is a very good engine. I know it runs like brand new and it has very good compression. I ran this in a video before. So I know the engine is hella ugly, but it's in fact, it's a very, very good engine. This is the Novorossi HPI engine that they made as an upgrade, the C12. I know for a fact I showed this in like a catalog one time. This is a proper Novorossi. You could tell by the screws. All right, I'm gonna start disassembling this stuff. Okay, let's see how far this can go. Yeah, Northeast Mods, that will be my second alternative, is to swap those engine mounts. But I kind of want to keep those engine mounts on the 15SS. Because I do have, like, over the years, a lot of these HPIs. I'm telling you, I'm gonna use that eventually. So this, I don't think I'm gonna use it anywhere. That's why I'm trying to stick it into this. Oh, look at that. What we got here, guys. We got the rare HPI racing clutch. That's sickening. That is a good clutch. Well, I'm going to do a test fit. I'm not guaranteeing you it's going to be a perfect fit. Okay, so I would need to change the pilot nut to a longer one. Because if I put this on, it's obviously not the right length. What I want to do, I just want to see before I remove too much, if I add this, will it line up with the trans? Okay, that's kind of like what I'm trying to do with the engine mounts, just to mock fit. Okay, so the engine mounts are here. It looks like a perfect fit, actually. Yeah, it's going to line up pretty well right there. Rock and Roller, this was already a 2-speed. I'm just doing a test mount. I think that'll be fine, actually. I just need to swap out the pilot nut to a longer one. So this will be the longer pilot nut. You guys see that if I put it on the clutch bell, on the flywheel? That's what I'm talking about here. Man, this is honestly real convoluted stuff as I'm trying to explain it, but trust me, it makes sense. All right, so we're gonna try. Means I need to remove the pilot nut. Okay, a 2-speed, the HPI racing clutch is real good. All right, so yeah, the goal is to put this pilot nut on. You could tell it's much longer, so the 2-speed should be perfect. Yeah, Jerry Gomez, I'm probably just gonna put washers and it'll be fine. All right, gotta unscrew that. Let me get the tools I need. If this doesn't work, I'll have to like heat it up. Okay, that's not gonna work. Nah, I'm okay, just almost fell. It's fun though. I don't mind falling for nitros, some real surgery going on. Big Boys Toys, thank you, man. Trying to do what I can, man, you know, with these repairs. Not always easy, and you got to have a lot of junk parts lying around. Okay, let's do it. 1, 2, 3, turn. Oh, yeah, got that one, baby. All right, got it. You know, if this is like really, really stuck, normally, let me give you guys a little bit of advice. So thank you for that channel donation from Big Boys Toys, man. Sometimes if this pilot nut is stuck, or clutch nut, however you want to call it, you can use a piston stopper tool. Sometimes I do use them. All right, so we need to install the longer one. So those of you that don't know what I just did, here's the obvious difference in size. One is a 2-speed one is a single speed one. So these parts, if you're repairing them, never throw these away. These are very, very important. Mandatory, I would say. Very, very mandatory. Okay. Would not be a bad idea to get some thread lock on this, but you know, when this one didn't have thread lock, I might remove it later. Let me just assemble it to make sure it all fits before I do anything. By the way, this is a proper Robinson Racing lightweight flywheel. This part right here, it's literally gold, bros. It's gold. Okay? This is worth more than a tariff. Okay. So this engine is fine. I know it runs. All right. All right, Raw RC, man. You take care if you're going. All right. I hope this all goes back together, to be honest with you. I don't know. There's a lot of... When you're putting, like, these modified style engines, anything could go wrong. Well, I don't want to say wrong, but more like things just might not fit well. In which case, like bearings, I already foresee bearings could be a problem. Sickening. It's tight. That's a tight one. Just confirm. Oh, the compression is insane, bros. Oh, yeah. I felt the compression in my spine. Okay, next up, we're going to just put back the clutch. The clutch was fine. Does anybody remember which holes I had it on? The middle? Anybody remember the holes? Damn, I forgot to notice what holes it was on. I think it was the middle holes. The middle would be the most logical, I would say. That would be like the middle of the engagement point. So that's it. It's assembled. It's the real rare. Yeah, middle. That's right, Kyle. The middle will be the middle of... well, obviously it can't be on this one because like that person cut it out. It's supposed to be that way. This would be the hardest engagement. That would be medium engagement. That's why it was called the adjustable racing clutch. Yo, I know this engine hella ugly, but trust me, this is probably one of the best HPI engines, well for an HPI ever made, because it's a legit Nova Rossi. You could see it on the carb right there. Oh man, Big Boys Toys is getting his Mugen next week. By the way, we both ordered the same one. So if you see it on my channel or his, we got the same one. So I would call a chiropractor, but the thing is my copay is like $60. You know, I have great health care. I'm in a union, and my copay is literally more than like people going to the hospital for free. If you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Get rid of this one, please.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
All right. Time to install the 2-speed clutch belt and the bearing assembly. I just want to see if the fit will be the same length. All right. It's a little tall, but if it sits this way, it'll be perfect. Nah, this is going to be perfect. You want it to stick out a little bit, because when we have a little bit of space there, it'll be good. Let me show them. Melissa made some progress over here with this. Sickening. We're going to tie this to the car later.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will represent. Well, I don't know. It's probably nothing great, but you know.
I have all the colors.
So why don't you use something less fancy? Oh no, we need purple. We need HPI purple.
I have purple.
By the way, guys, today I was watching the newest History of Schumacher. It's a pretty popular channel video. One of my clips made it. Of course, they used literally the worst clip ever made by me. One of my Schumacher Menace clips made it into the video. But the worst clip ever in the world. What are you going to do? Okay, I don't know if these bearings will actually fit. These are not the right size bearings. I'm going to have to get bearings for that, because these bearings are not the right bearings. Okay, so it's bearing gang time right now. I might have some here, but if not, I'll go get some bearings. Let me just see if these will fit. Oh man, these look real. No, these are completely killed. Who the hell put this in there? The shielded bearing is destroyed. These are garbage. Chris Brown, how you doing, bro? These bearings are trash. Might have to go get my bearing case. Who put that in there? If the window is open, I throw it out the window right now, bros. Let me see inside here. Is there any more? I usually keep bearings in a different area. Just check this. It's not the right size. All right, I'm gonna have to BRB. What? Chris Brown? Let me check if this is the right size. Oh, we got Chris Brown. Of course, we can give the 2-year-old Paige a little hello. And please eat the McDonald's, Paige. Paige, I love McDonald's. Tell us what you're trying to eat. Let me guess. Chicken nuggets. The McNuggets are delicious. Okay. Oh, we got one successful bearing. Now, I'm assuming we won't need... I'll shim it later. But I'm just trying to see the spacing. Okay, this bearing is correct. So we'll do some shims, but that bearing is correct over there. So for real, Paige, eat the McDonald's. I love McDonald's. It's just so delicious. In fact, if I was in the Prius right now, I'd go pick some up. Okay, we got one bearing.
Why the Prius?
The Prius is the perfect fast food car. If you're trying to eat cheap, why would you want to spend a lot of gas money? You got to go get fast food in the Prius. Everybody knows that. Literally everybody knows that. I'm the one that learned that. Okay, I think I got another one. Please, please, please. Oh, this might be a better one. Okay, we got one more bearing. Let me see if I got what it takes. Okay, so we'll need a shim. Here's a shim. I'm gonna insert this. This actually requires, I think, more than one bearing. Okay, it's sitting beautiful right there. That gap, that's beautiful right there. So once I get this situated, I'm not sure how many bearings this takes, but it appears to be more than one on the outside. 122 positive ethical viewers, all trying to get McDonald's with the mac sauce. Oh yeah, we need another one. You see how it sits deep inside? Yeah, McDonald's went up, bro. Went up. That's why. Use the short, no, 2-speed. RC Fun. I don't know. It appears to be that is the correct flywheel nut. Let me just do a position check before I put in the rest, but it spins perfect. I'll finish this in a little bit. Let me just do a position check. I mean, it appears to be lining up actually perfectly with the engine mount, and I have very good gear mesh adjustment. You see it right there? And actually the screws are basically going to be perfect. I'll just put a little bit of shim on that, on the bottom. I think this is going to be a runner, guys. So Chris Brown, I think... no, not Chris Brown, yeah. Who said that? RC Fun. RC Fun, bro. Yeah, I think you were talking about this pile nut. This one is for a single speed. The viewers here will tell you. I mean, you're not a noob. You know what you're talking about, too. But for the 2-speed model, you need the longer pilot nut. Let me go get a couple more bearings, everybody. Melissa, talk to them.
What's up, you guys? How's everyone doing tonight? I'm doing good.
I'm back.
I'm doing okay.
Let me get my bearings, guys. As they say in the ship world, let's get our bearings. This might be it. I'm gonna have to get shims also. Let me see if this is the right bearing.
It's pouring over here in Sonoma, in New York.
Come on, please pray. This appears to be too huge. No, this one is not it. Damn, don't you hate when you get the wrong engine? I mean bearings. Texas Hill, I agree, bro. I know this head is ugly, but I'm telling you, this engine is beautiful. I ran it before. Another one. This might be correct. Please, please let this be correct. Damn it. Too large as well. Not correct. It's alright, there's more bearings where that came from. But not that many more.
Yeah, I have purple, I have black, gold.
I don't know, this one doesn't seem to be. Oh yeah, we got ourselves a bearing keeper. Guys, that's hardcore. Look at that bearing, baby. Got 3 of them on this now. Oh yeah, that's gonna be real smooth. That is juicy. Look at that spinner. Riding on 3 bearings. Gotta get proper washers and cap it off. Melissa, you like those bearings? I know I do. I wish it was a flanged bearing though. Mike Pavine, how you doing, bro? No, we got like real bad rain out here today.
No.
It sucks, I know, man. But real bad rain. I'm looking for washers.
Not tonight, you guys.
If this was a flanged bearing, this would not have been a problem. I don't know how I'm gonna get that many washers on that, honestly.
It's pouring out here today.
Let me see this little one. This is a flange bearing. It might work.
And now we're not starting it in the house either.
So this flanged bearing is not the right size. Let me see if I can remove it and maybe the outside one maybe. I'm gonna remove some of them, hold on. I wanna see if this particular flange bearing will work. Nah, it falls through. It's not the right flange. Okay, that's not gonna work. So the proof is in. I need a ton of washers on this part. Let me see what I can dig up, guys. That's gonna be the problem, I think. We got any advice or what? I'm gonna take out what I think looks like washers. But none of these are that good. Those are obviously too large. I'm gonna look for washers in another box. This is my HPI engine part box. If it's not in here, it's basically nowhere. These are like 8-scale clutch bells and parts. I need that washer is what I need. Okay, here it looks like we got a couple good options. I mean, if I'm not able to find them, I'm going to have to order the Traxxas Teflon washers. I think that's the way it's going to have to go. Because these are not really for this kind of engine. These are going to be too huge. Here's one. I'm just gonna put them out for now, and I'll see how they compile. These are too small. So these are very small, expensive washers. I'm gonna try some of them. All right, let me see what happens. All right, so that's how far the bearing sits. I need the Traxxas Teflon washers. That's what I need. Oh, we got Goulash. How you doing? Sorry, I didn't see your comment. Let me read what Goulash says before I try some of them. I am new to Nitro. Recently purchased Nitro / two-wheel drive. It's immediately flooding while using the Easy Start. Do I need to lean it out some? Yes, you need to lean it out some. If it's flooding, you have too much fuel going to the system. I would highly recommend you lean it out like a good half a turn. Try it again and see if you have a positive result. It's all about incremental adjustments. Goulash. Okay. This is not bad. But ideally, you want the washer to sit on the inside of the shaft, on the inside of the bearing. You don't want it to be covering the clutch bell. You don't want your washer to cover the part that's spinning, really. I'm going to open this, but opening this case is like the world's hardest effort. Can't believe I opened it on the first attempt. But these are very small washers, not really used for this kind of stuff. We got one Traxxas Teflon washer. I'm going to put it on. Of course. Actually, these are the fake Teflon washers. That's why they don't fit. Take back what I said, guys. Those aren't the real ones. I bought the fake Amazon ones, and that's what happens. Yo, Melissa, what time is it? I'm getting tired. 10:25. Holy moly. Can't get that one out. These are the fake washers. Actually, they're not exactly the same diameter. Okay, one went on. There we go. One went on. Yeah, I'm going to need like a ton of them. You know what I could do? I could put them in on the inside. Actually, I have a better idea. Everybody. I think we should put the washers on the inside. Not there, but basically between. The goal is to push this bearing out. So there we go. I'm going to push the bearing out. JP, how you doing, man? Happy Friday to you. I'm just trying to assemble this 2-speed clutch bell over here. giving me a bit of a hassle. The goal is to push the bearing up further and then to get a big washer on it. Well, the problem is I only have a couple of really bad washers. Okay, we got one. I don't think I'll be able to get the other one in. Okay, I pushed it down real hardcore. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Where's that bearing? Nah, that wasn't a very good idea. That washer is like a fake washer. It doesn't sit good. Only the first one is good. That's the real Teflon washer. But I'm very close, I gotta tell you guys. I think I'm gonna have to order more of them. I don't know if I'll be able to finish this today. Damn, this is a fake one too. You notice how it doesn't go on the shaft? It's a replica washer. They're not made very well. All right, well, I'm gonna put on some of these small spacers. These are like for diff shims. But it don't matter, it should fit. Yeah, it fits. All I'm trying to do is just to move the last bearing up. Does it make sense what I'm trying to do? You can pretty much put as many as you need, it doesn't matter. Because we're essentially already using 3 different bearings. All right, I put on 3. Let me try to see if it sits evenly now. All right, it's much better, and it spins perfect. Okay. So, I need a small washer on the outside here. There we go. And now I'm gonna screw in the nut. The screw, rather. Did I say nut? It's not a nut, it's a screw. Man, this is like kind of boring, but if you don't do this stuff, then nothing matters. Nothing works. Okay, we're gonna test it out. All right, so the screw is real tight. It's hardcore. Watch this. We got close to no movement on the clutch bell. Guys, look at that. Hybrid over here did a perfect job. Clutch bell is not binding. It's not wobbling. Look at that. Spins beautiful, huh? No wobble, no nothing. I mean, a little bit of movement is okay. If I wanted to reduce it, I could just put another shim on the inside. Should I do another shim? Having that much movement is totally acceptable. That's it. Are we good? All right, I think that's good. I'm frankly surprised myself. If my name was Frankie, I wouldn't say no. But my name is not Frankie. It's hybrid. Okay? You see that? I don't even mind being made fun of as long as it's in a positive fashion. Okay, so this is done. At this point, I'm going to try to see if we need washers on the bottom of the engine. But the 2-speed clutch bell is installed, bro. Yeah, Tarek, thank you, man. Frankly, I'm surprised I actually had the parts. No wobble, the clutch inside is good. 2-speed clutch bell is added. This will eventually get removed. This header is garbage, but it doesn't leak. I do have a good gasket on it, so it should work. I mean, for now. Right. I need some engine screws is the next thing. Where's that box of stuff I brought before? Give me that box over there, please.
Which one?
No, the one on top. Yes. I'm gonna check which engine screws I need. So I need counter. Well, I need really any screws. Let me check which screws, guys. I'm literally a couple moments away from doing a test fit. These screws are all giant. So give me the other box. Give me the other box. Yeah, give me that box. These are old vintage screws I got with some RC deals over the years. And of course, most of them probably will be completely useless. These are not the right screws. I mean, I could probably use some of them for now, but they can't be tapered. Give me that other box. Is there another plastic box inside there? Is there another box inside there of screws? It appears I'm gonna have to use. Is there like another plastic box?
Yeah.
Give me the other plastic box, please. If not, I'm gonna have to use these, I think, for now. Let me just try these for now. All right. The threads are good. I'll just check in the threads. Sickening thread gang. You know what? Just for test purposes, I'm just gonna use the Phillips screws for now. If I can find any more, that is. Considering I'm almost out of screws. It's a super tiny one. Whatever, it'll be fine. I'm gonna have to move on to this one. I need at least 2 more. No, too long. All right. Get rid of this. I'm gonna pick out 2 more screws from here. I mean, what matters is the threads match. All right, this one will be good. 1 more. Oh, here we go. All right, I got 4. So if I have 4, I could do gear adjustment, gear mesh. I'm just trying to see if the clutch bell is gonna hit. That's all I'm really trying to do. So I got 4 screws. None of them are like perfect, but for testing purposes, they should be okay. So here are the screws. This is just for alignment purposes, bro. Just for alignment purposes. Richard B, man, I don't really know how many I have. I honestly don't keep count. Let's hope this fits. I don't know if these screws are actually the correct size. Or if there's thread lock in this. No, the screw is too giant, first of all. This one's too long. I'm gonna have to use another screw. All right, that short one's pretty good. Figures, huh? All right, next up, another one. I don't think I'm gonna be able to use all of them. JP, yes, this is one of the ones I got at the swap meet. In fact, a viewer, Nitro J, gave them to me. But the engine is mine. All right, so these two are going in okay. I don't know, that one is a little odd for some reason. I'm just trying to get it tight, and then we'll see if I need to add any washers under it. All right, looks like the screw is going in relatively successfully. 1036, huh? You know what that means? That means showtime. I'm gonna just do what I can for the gear mesh. I'm not gonna say it's gonna be perfect, but we'll see if it sits tight. This screw might be too giant. This screw's too long, I have to remove it. All right, I'm gonna get another screw. All Action RC, how are you, man? Just gonna get one more short one. So, everybody understand what my goal is. I'm not really doing the gear mesh so much right now. I'm just trying to see if the clutch bell will hit the chassis. If it does, no big deal. Okay, check it out. The main thing, guys, the main thing is, do we have gear mesh? It's beautiful. It's a spinner. I think Hybrid over here outdid himself this time. What do you guys think about that? Beautiful. All RC action, man. Welcome to the channel. I see you found, some foams. I like foams. If you want to send me anything, bro, please feel free to hit me up on my email. It's, hybrid32494@hotmail.com. All right. Let me make sure. You know what? We literally have a micron of clearance. So what I'm looking at is the space between the clutch bell and the chassis. It does spin, and I have the engine mounted pretty tight, actually. I think this is a go. It really wouldn't be the end of the world to add like one Teflon washer on the bottom of all of these mounts. I might eventually do that, but I don't have any washers right now. Access to the flywheel is Supreme. Like that terrible clothing company, Supreme, with that stupid brand they have that's overpriced. Other day I saw the Supreme version of the Losi Pro Moto. Guy wanted $800. Told him to Supreme it himself out of there. But guys, I think we got ourselves a major success. Look at this. It spins beautiful. It doesn't hit nothing. I think this RS4 is almost made great again. I'll get the rest of these components. Let me just worry a little bit about the radio tray and the linkage, because that, in fact, is going to be a major, requirement. I'm hoping the linkage is going to be geometrically correct. Well, I mean, in terms of linkage installation, that is. I'm honestly a little bit happy. I think this is, yeah, the engine's real ugly, but it is, in fact, a very good compression Novarasi made HPI engine. So, in fact, other than the ugly cooling head, this is a major upgrade for this chassis. All right, so that's it. The goal, I'm going to have to work on these linkages, the way they're adjusting. Let me zoom in over there. So the goal, I'm going to have to move this a little bit So I'm gonna have to move this back more. This is sitting too forward. You guys understand what I'm saying? All right. So should have thought about that. It's no big deal. I can move it. Okay. I can move it. All we gotta do is loosen this nut and move the throttle lever back. It's hard to do when the thing is inside the car. I can't loosen it. It's too hard to loosen. Okay, let me do it off video for a second. Whoa. Sickening. Nitro J, bro, don't worry about it. In the future, if anything. What? Yeah. Hold on. I'm struggling over here. Okay, I think I'm close to success. Close to success. Okay. All right. Whoa. Close to success. I moved it back a little bit. The whole goal is to get this thing to snap on. Well, guys, I think that was a pretty successful attempt so far. Oh. All right. It's on. So the problem is when it goes back. Well, I mean, I'll have to adjust the linkages, obviously. I might have to trim the upper portion of this throttle arm because it's very close to the head. The logic is when it opens, geometrically, this is not correct. Do you see what happens? So normally the linkage would be like that. I need this to move in this fashion. Now this one actually doesn't move in that fashion at all. It doesn't open all the way. I have to think about this linkage, how to get it more accurate. I could swap the arm itself completely. You all understand what I'm talking about here? I could swap the arm completely though. I'm thinking of what to do. Yeah, a Z-bend could also work. That's true. This could require a custom linkage. The geometry is incorrect as I expected. Let me see if I just make this longer. I'm gonna unscrew it. A couple turns. I'm screwing it out. Maybe 5 turns. I need a better throw. Okay. All right, let's try it again. I knew that was going to be the issue, because the linkage geometry is what matters. Plus, this throttle arm is honestly a little bit old. I think it actually might have bent that way. Let me see. I mean, it's better, but I wouldn't say it's good. Let me see how the carb opens. Okay, so right now the carb is relatively at idle. Yeah, this part is incorrect. I mean, it almost opens all the way, but it's a little bit obstructed. gonna have to think of how to remedy this. The throw is incorrect. Let me check something over here. Wonder Bread, I just saw. Thank you, man, for getting. Let me guess, you got the LRP 21. Finally, someone listened before they were completely discontinued. Yeah, man, I care about the lighting. It looks like we're going to need a custom link. The problem on these models, you really cannot get away with using the servo horn. You need that for the best brakes. But engine gear mesh wise, this thing is going to be beautiful, man. Could easily use the starter box, no problem on this, because notice how great the flywheel sits. It's actually in line with the chassis. You don't have to push up or nothing. And I know this engine runs real nice. Michael Sucha, you have a good night, bro. I'm going to pack up and call it a day myself, guys. I want to say thank you all for being here. Lotus RC, we got a storm right now. This thing is going to fire up. I'm going to start it Sunday. I have to figure out the custom linkage, though. It's going to be beautiful. This might be, I'm going to say right now, maybe one of the fastest RS43s probably ever. Because this is a proper Nova Rossi engine with a lightweight Robinson Racing flywheel. There's literally nothing bad other than the linkage right now. It's going to be a runner. Guys, thank you all. Give the video a like if you felt like it. If you didn't, tell me why. We could discuss it. Until then, thank you all. Have a great positive night. Joe Bates, thank you, bro. I think this is going to be one of the fastest and ugliest ones, of course. I mean, this is the world's ugliest cooling head. But it is a proper Nova Rossi. You all have a good night. This is where we're at. What do you think about that? No one knows what it is. But we like looking at squares in life, don't we? NYC 1715, thank you, bro. Yo, NYC, I'm in Staten Island. Where you at? You want to go to the RC track Sunday? I'll be there. Staten Island, New York, Midland Beach. Here you go. Laters, everybody. Take care. Stay true. Stay positive. Don't do things to piss people off. And live the good ethical lifestyle.